Hey everyone, Vinayak here. I had reviewed the HP Envy laptop earlier. Its 256GB SSD storage was enough for mails and standard browsing, but when I suddenly needed to install development tools and sync code to my system, the space started to fill up quite fast. These laptops, being quite thin and light, don't have the standard SSDs but NVMe drives. So how do you upgrade these? Watch on to find out. The HP Envy laptop I have was configured with a 256GB NVMe SSD, which was fine at one point in time, but when I started to install my development tools, the space started to look quite inadequate. In order to upgrade the system, I picked up the crucial 1TB NVMe drive, which would replace the existing 256GB NVMe as there is only one slot present. In order to clone the internal drive, I installed Macrium Reflect, which also has a free version for non-commercial use. Register with your email ID and an email with a key would be sent to it. Or you could also opt for the 30-day trial, which would be enough. Install the tool, and once open, it would display the drives present in the system. So displayed is my 256GB NVMe. The drive's entire capacity is not available for use as the system restore files are also present on the drive. Effectively, only 222GB is available for use. I needed an external drive to back up the contents of the one in the laptop, which can be any external hard drive. But it has to be, at the very least, have more space than the drive you are cloning. I have this 500GB T5 SSD drive, which has enough space to clone the laptop drive. This would have been easier with a standard SSD, but the requirement being NVMe, I would need a separate external drive enclosure, which for NVMe are quite expensive. So for this process, I'm connecting the external drive and create an image of the internal NVMe to the external drive. Click on Image. Click on the option to image this drive. A pop-up will display the options to select a target drive for the image file. I select the external drive and create a folder for the image and then select it. Click on Next. Keep the standard settings. Next, Next, and then the backup begins. This would take some time, but as the drive is not completely filled up, would not take that long. The image would also replicate the other recovery partitions on the internal drive. Once done, shut down the laptop and disconnect the external drive. Now to move on to the desktop. My motherboard has two NVMe slots, so I can use one of them to clone the data from the external drive onto it. This is how a NVMe slot looks. I just slide in the drive. I'm not adding the screw to hold down the drive as it's going to be removed in a few hours. Boot up the system and start up Macrium Reflect on the desktop. Connect the external drive to the desktop. Click on the Restore tab, select Browse for an image or backup file to restore, that is from the external drive, and the image file loads up. Select the target drive. Here's where the software helps. Drag and drop the partition necessary onto the target drive. The image keeps the sizes and names of the partitions as it was on the original. In Macrium Reflect, we have the option to resize the partitions, especially of the ones that the data is stored in. We need the other partitions too, as they have recovery information in case Windows installation gets corrupted or needs to be factory reset. Right click on the partition where data is stored, type in the size you need the partition to be, hit OK, and it's set. You need to do a little math over here to find out exactly how much you need to add to the storage partition. Now add the remaining partitions. Do note, this is just a visualization of the process, and setting the partitions and data is still not initiated. Hit Next, and the process of setting up the partitions and copying of the data onto the NVMe begins. Now the drive is ready and needs to be installed back into the laptop. You will need to open up the laptop. Each laptop has its own opening instructions, and you can find the instructions for your laptop on YouTube by searching for the brand and model number. The HP Envy uses Torx screws, which I luckily have the respective head for my screwdriver. Open up the bottom plate. There are more under the rubber pads. Get them off too. The base plate just won't come off. It's being held using clips, which needs to be opened up using a plastic prying tool. You can get these tools online in the form of laptop repair kits. Here's the existing NVMe drive. Unscrew it to release the drive. Slide it out of the port. Be careful of the wires around. Now install the new drive and reinsert the screw. Before installing the backplate, let's test if it boots up. Fingers crossed. Error message. Yikes! It scared me for a second. The message is straightforward. The system was configured with a certain drive, and it can't find the drive anymore. Hit enter and the system finds the new drive automatically, and bam! It boots up. Phew! Everything is as is on the older drive, but with the added drive space. The installation of the drive is quite straightforward and should not cause much problem. The steps provided are not only for NVMe drives but also works with SSDs or even other laptop HDDs. The thin and light laptops require you to remove the entire backplate as NVMe drives are installed directly on the motherboard. I have other videos showcasing how to install a hard drive in laptops, even replacing an optical drive which most don't use with a HDD or SSD. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, do write in to us at tech@talkingstuff.net or WhatsApp us at 96525 78833. So that was the video. Thank you for watching and see you all next time. Make sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to click on the notification bell to be informed when new videos are added.